Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of Business 101. By now, we have finished up the week 1, and you should have read the first chapters of your book, completed the assignments that were due, participated in discussions, and hopefully everyone has participated in the first Collaborate session, or at least watched the recording that's out there for that. We've talked about a little bit about me. We've talked a little bit about APA formatting. We've talked a little bit about peer-reviewed journal articles and how to find legitimate information on the internet. Our first sessions really talked a lot also about jobs and careers and what are the hot jobs and sort of things like that as we kind of broke the ice and got to know each other. This week we'll start talking more about ethics, corporate responsibility, social responsibility, corporate citizenship, and the whole context of ethics. Okay, certainly there are personal ethics and there are business ethics. One of the things that's important to understand in ethics is that everyone does not have the same definition of what ethics is. And that's very, very important to understand. It's not enough as a leader or a manager of an organization to just simply tell everybody that you expect them to act ethically. People have a diverse backgrounds, they come from different cultures, they have different religious beliefs, a lot more diverse employee base than maybe we had, say, 20 years ago, when you could say act ethically and everyone kind of understood what that meant. So organizations today have to define exactly what acting ethically is all about. Secondly, when I'd say 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, if you will, companies, the managers and leadership of companies were taught in business schools that the function of a business was to increase shareholder value. A shareholder is a person who is invested in the company and have a ownership stake in that company. And under that shareholder theory, if you will, the CEO, the presidents of the company, the leadership of the company, their job was to return on the investment of that shareholder. And that's nothing wrong with that per se. That person is invested in that company, they want a return on it, they want to make a profit, that kind of thing. Nothing in the world wrong with that. But taken to its logical conclusion, if that's the only thing that the leadership is responsible for, then they can make unethical decisions in terms of legal issues, moral issues, environmental issues, and things like that, all in the name of making a profit. And so we've seen that in the news over the last few years as organizations have polluted the environment. You've seen oil spills, chemical spills, major fires. We've seen leaders go to jail for losing millions and millions of dollars of people's money in fake investments. We've seen people's retirements disappear, all in the name of making a profit for a shareholder. And so there needs to be some sort of balance between profitability and good corporate responsibility. So now a lot of the business schools and a lot of the leadership are teaching what they call stakeholder theory. A stakeholder is anyone who has a vested interest in the company, not just a financial interest. The local town, the local community, the local government, police, fire, citizens, unions, anyone associated with or connected to that organization is now a stakeholder. And so the argument is, as stakeholder theory, as an owner or a business person in this organization, I look to make a profit for my shareholders, but I also have to take into context how my decisions will affect everyone else around me. And so that draws in making sure that I follow regulations, that I don't hurt the environment, that I give back to the community, and so forth like that. Okay? So there's a difference between what we would call shareholder value stakeholder value, or shareholder theory, stakeholder theory. And you can kind of see that. As we've gone forward, it's become pretty much the norm that we expect companies to act responsibly and to give back to the community in which they operate. And we see a lot of companies doing that today. On a personal note, again, let's go back in terms of ethics in an individual situation. Those are very, very important as well. As we noted, not everybody has the same definition of ethics, so it's important that we define ethics in our organization, exactly what it is. We live and work in a global economy that's very, very fast due to technology. Things change very, very quickly, and it's not unusual for us to work with people from other countries. For an example, as I sit here and tape this here at my office at work for a few minutes, I work with people from the United Kingdom, from India, from Germany, from Poland, from the Dominican Republic, and so forth. And so all of those folks have different sets of beliefs, different sets of expectations. They may have different religions and so forth than what I grew up with. And so it's important that we all get on the same page, if you will, from an ethical standpoint. So this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about in the coming week. It should be very, very interesting because we all have our own opinions and points of view about this subject. So I look forward to talking with you and working with you. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good week.